Welcome back, everyone. Hope you had a delightful lunch. The second half of the day will shed the light on e-commerce and payments. Our next keynote presentation is State of Payment and E-commerce in Kuwait by KNet. Please help me welcome to the stage Mr. Abdulla Al-Ajmi, CEO of the Shared Electronics Banking KNet.
Thank you. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Jazakumullah bil khair. I don't know why they always put us after lunch, but it's good to set up the thing. So, first of all, thanks for the organization. Thanks for they invite us. This is the second year, and we are here this event to present what is the state of payment gateway or e-commerce in Kuwait. Before we switch to the presentation, we have a counter, so just to keep an eye on it. This is show. Do you remember yesterday in Ramadan, the minister speech was talking about the e-commerce in Kuwait and KNet, and we just show a counter here to show you year to date, and it's a live counter, so you can see number of transactions as of now. Let's keep increasing. I know where's the counter. Yeah, thank you. Then we've put also the categories of the main industry that help that do transaction, like food, government, travel, bill payment, or entertainment. I will talk more in detail on it. The other part of the counter is the transaction happening now, live, and you can see there's some food, some bill payment. It's a mix of all of these things. So I'll start our presentation, but we'll keep this one also running, just to see what's happening in Kuwait. Okay. So just for, I'm sure that all of you know KNet, but for people that's either new in the country or out from outside the country, KNet is the national switch. It's formed by the bank, so we are connecting to all our local banks, which is 11 Kuwaiti banks plus 6 non-member banks, we call them. These are the non-Kuwaiti banks that join, and they join KNet to use the services. We also connect to GCC-Net for the other GCC countries. And we also connect to the all point of sale in Kuwait, which is currently 55,000. We have a 2,000 ATM, and we have more than 1,200 e-commerce sites, either application or site. Plus, we have also an international collection to schema, Visa, MasterCard, Diners, whatever name it, Union Bay, any international schema, we allow them to be connected to our payment channels. Just a quick KNet service timelines. The idea was far away. It was in 1989 when the bank sat in one room and said we wanted to do a shared electronic companies. It was formalized in 1990. 92, the company was registered and started working. Then we start really in 94 the switch, point of sale 95, ATM 95, GCC. And we start our payment gateway or e-commerce 2004. And one of the objectives of talking about this presentation is really to show how things is progressing and how things is fast growing. So payment gateway started in 2004. Then we start Tasdeed, which is the government payment. 2008, we was also going after all our certification. We get the EMV, PCI, ISO, and most of the time we was the first to have it on the region. Plus, one of the award that it's really close to us is when we get the award from His Highness Emir in 2012. And it was for helping small business to get connected through KNet Payment Gateway. Then we launched with the government the e-stamp, and lately we launched our OTP for the e-commerce in 2017. Okay, so what is our payment gateway and how much it is? In Kuwait, there is 4 million KNet card issued by our local banks. Plus, we have 17 banks, as we mentioned, 11 local plus 6 non-local. And we have 1,200 merchant online. And with all these ecosystem, we produce about 20 million transactions a year in the e-commerce only. So let's talk more about e-commerce. And what was the milestone, or what was the journey of our e-commerce? We start early 2004. We start also very early on the mobile. Technology was not that fancy, but in 2006, we was running some mobile application with some of these companies in a small, none that smartphones, but there was some payments running there. It took us 4 years to hit the million transaction a year. But things start to grow more rapidly after that, and we'll see it. We add the government in 2009, the first government institute, and it was that time MOJ, then MOI, that start to have services using test deed service. 2015, there was a milestone where we hit 100,000 transactions per day. So that was really, for us, a big milestone that you hit 100,000 e-commerce. And that time, this is where smartphones and all connected people started to work. In 2017, it's January, when we launched our OTP, or the two-factor authentication, to increase the security in our payment gateway. So back, just to give you the scale of the service and how long it takes to build up. I mean, again, we start 2004, very minimum. In fact, our first customer was one of the company that days, if anyone my age remember it, we used to buy prepaid internet dial-up. So you scratch it, you enter it, you get connect. So that was our first customer on that. It took us 10 years to hit the million transaction a month. But after that, it took us only 2 years to hit the 2 million. Mid-2017, we hit 2.5, and we are anticipating early 2018, we hit 3 million transactions a month. So what are these people who's the users, and what services do people use it on the payment gateway or on e-commerce? I mean, if you see the number of merchants, it's been growing. From 2012, it was only 300 plus. Then it keeps jumping. But if you could notice, the last 3 years, the jump is much bigger, so it's going exponential, not linear. With the same with the annual number of transactions. So we are hitting the 20 million, and hopefully more this year. Just to compare our physical purchase, which is the point of sale, with the virtual sales. If we go to the merchant, I mean, still point of sale is high dominated. People wanted to go malls, buy, do things. So it's still, we are only doing 13% of the BG. But if you compare it with 2010, it was less than 4%. So that part of the pie is increasing. More is doing as e-commerce. If we go to the government, let's hope that we don't have a lot of the government here. In government, people will prefer to do BG, e-commerce. And sorry, the percentage is not happening in this slide, but it's 60-40. So 40% of government transaction is happening remotely, and this is anticipated to go more and more. So we know that 13% of the purchase in Kuwait is happening e-commerce. So let's try to see where is it really happening and when it is happening. Business type. 42 is food and privileges. And hopefully we'll be seeing some of them in the live counter, huh? I can see talabat. Maybe carriage, I don't know. I don't see it's far away. But 42 is on the food and privileges. If we go to bill payment, it's 14%, which is, you can see some telco, telecommunication, some aggregator, which is doing bill payment. We have entertainment, which is about 8%. And when we say entertainment, this is theaters, cinemas, anything similar to that. And the red one is the truffle. And this is also another growing business, is the truffle on the e-commerce. Government is doing about 19%, and the rest is any other type of business that we have it on that. So this is where people using their payment gateway transaction. The other thing is when are people is doing that. So if you can see food and privileges, it's all around the day. It just gets quiet from 4 to 6. Then the breakfast people, then the lunch people, then the late eaters is coming. If we go to bill payment, let's go with the salaries. So the moment people have their salaries, which is known in Kuwait from 20 to 29, different ministry. So you can see that it starts picking up on the 21st, 20, up to the 29, then it goes. So people will do their bill payment around that time. Government, it's a bit strange. It's March and September, October. And our interpret to this is it's usually after long holidays, people will start doing the government payment, any registration, anything need to be settled on that thing. Truffle, we couldn't find a better, but I mean, it's going toward the after summer, it's pick up where they have all these sales, all these travel agents, airlines. Usually they have the sales toward the end of the year for the next year travel. So we see also a peak on that. One last thing, I mean, a lot of you know Abdulla Al-Ajmi, CEO of KNet, 25 years and all of these things, but we have a great team after all these services. So I put a slide of our staffs. We have a nice 100 employees doing an excellent job, not only for payment gateway, for the whole team. And I wanted to call the 3 persons who's in our e-commerce technical to come on the stage, and we'll open Q&A for all of you. So I would like to call in Dalal Yagut, if she's arrived, or she's busy running the office. Dalal is our AGM for IT and operation, but I think still she's usually shy, but I don't know if she arrived, Khalid, or not. Anyhow, we'll call in Khalid Bouabbas. Could you come? And sorry, this is unplanned, Khalid. So Khalid Bouabbas is our application development manager. He's been with us from 2005, and among a few things, he managed also our payment gateway. Then we have our payment gateway, which is much famous than me in the payment gateway, which is Thaqib. So Thaqib, is you around here? Yep. And Thaqib been with us 2008, so he been living all this growth that we have it on the payment gateway. So he will join me here, also Thaqib, and I'll keep it now for the audience for any questions that they wanted to know about it. We have technical, we have half of the management, and we still have the business people, the operation people is also nearby if you need any questions. So.
Assalamu alaikum. My name is Atif Abdul Majid. I'm from KISS Ventures. There's something which I really want to understand is how do these new payment gateway softwares work over KNet, which is OG Money, My Fatura, Tap. How is the mechanics? What happens here? I mean, I really want to understand this.
I can hear you. Yeah, it's not clear, the sound. Sorry.
Wasn't clear? Sure. Basically, I just want to know how these payment gateway softwares like My Fatura, OG Money, Tap, how do they work with your system? What are the mechanics between the two gateways, if you may?
it's on. If I understand your questions, and please correct me, you're talking about, other payment provider. You mentioned one of them. I mean, usually we don't mention our names, but we have a few of them, and this is what I was touch base on it quickly when we won the award in 2014. That KNet is a company owned by the banks, and it gives services for the banks. And for us, all these service provider is merchant, that they will go with the bank, do their agreement, present their case, and the bank will forward them for connection. We don't do the end or the last mile connection between customer and merchant. We do it the same in point of sale, and we also do it in the e-commerce. Hope this is your question, because we can hear it. And we have Dalal. You cannot hide Dalal. I mean, can you come here, please?
Assalamu alaikum. Assalamu alaikum. Jazakumullah bil khair. There is a new regulation to regulate the e-payment gateway. How it will affect KNet as a company, actually?
You're talking about, it was in the newspaper about a few months ago that there is a new, it's not a regulation, because the regulation is already there. It is لائحة تنفيذية. ما أعرف اسمها بالإنجليزي صراحة، بس it's اللي راح يصدرها البنك المركزي. I mean, for us, we wanted to see what is on that thing and how to. But it's mainly what I read it in the newspaper. It's mainly to regulate the payment providers, that they give it direct to the customer. Again, for us, we are a switch in the backup of the services. We don't give the service direct to the customer.
It will be between a new entities of payment gateways and the clients. So KNet will be on the side and that point. This is what I understood actually from.
I mean, what we saw is a draft. We cannot comment on a draft. I'm fine. Any other questions? I mean, if we run off the time, we are here in a hosted booth for any further questions or one-to-one discussion.
Just a quick question. Any plans to move into, or what sort of mobile solutions do you have? Because, we see, for example, in the US, you've got Square, Stripe, all these payment companies. What are the plans for KNet to at least try to move from the traditional methods of payment and try to incorporate new ways for people to pay, given that we have more startups, we have, for example, ma'arad. A lot of people need a quick payment solution, and obviously there is only KNet in Kuwait. There isn't much competition. The innovation we feel is a bit slow compared to what other people are doing. So
ترى أنا عندي مشكلة والله بالصوت، ما قاعد أسمع، الصدى حيل قوي So سمعت الجزء الأول.
أرفع صوتي من غير ما
أرفع صوتي.
بس عرفت نفسي الأول حمد المطوع الله يسلمك. لا بس سؤالي بخصوص الموبايل، في وايد شركات الحين بأمريكا تعتمد على الموبايل بالبيمنت. يمكن تكون نفس طريقة كينت اللي يصير فيها دونجل، ولا يصير في بيمنت يكون عن طريق البلوتوث. أجهزة وايد طلعت سهلت موضوع البيمنت، خصوصا حق الناس اللي تحتاجه بشكل خلينا نقول مؤقت. مثلا عندك معارض، عندك وايد الحين هوم بزنسز قاعد تطلع، والحين في رخص جديدة قاعد تصير حق المشاريع المتناهية. في ناس ما يقدر يستوفي شروط ماكينة الكينت اللي انت لازم تأجر مكان او في شروط معينة. فهل في بلانز من كينت ان تتوجه على اشياء جديدة ممكن تكون غير تقليدية ما تعودنا عليها بالكويت؟
شوف، السؤال فيه شقين. الشق الاول اللي هو السمول بزنس او الناس اللي مثلا محتاج انه ياخذ خدمة مؤقتة. طبعا في شوية جايد لاين وريجوليشنز انه عشان تسوي بزنس في الكويت لازم تكون مرخص. عشان البنك يعطيك خدمة لازم تكون في رخصة، ومتأملين خير أتوقع في التوجه الجديد اللي في الحكومة أنه ان المشاريع الخاصه يمكن طلعوا درافت وبعدين اعترضوا وبعدين قالوا اذا فود لا شويه اشياء بس it is coming وهذا راح يفتح لهم باب ان ياخذون الخدمه من البنوك. لما نتكلم عن الموبايل بيمنت والاشياء اللي موجوده في الموبايل بيمنت طبعا بحر كبير وفي اشياء مختلفه في الموضوع. اذا ناخذ مثلا مثال سكوير حق الناس اللي مثلا شافوا سكوير في امريكا وذول كلهم شباب عندنا سكوير صار لنا فتره بس ما تقدر لان الريجوليشن مختلفه. في امريكا ما في ريجوليشن على الرقم السري، ما في ريجوليشن على الكيز، تقدر تسحب الكرت وتمشي، تقدر تسوي اوف لاين وتمشي، تشيك كارد، شويه مختلف عن الوضع اللي موجود. سو خلينا نروح مثلا حق دول نفس اوروبا. اذا انت فاميليار مثلا باليو كي في ايزستل والاماكن سيميلر سولوشنز. خلينا اقول لك ان عندنا في كينت سيميلر سولوشنز بس وي نيد تو هاف العدد، لان لما يجيك على عدد صغير يصير الكوست مال الترانزكشن عالي، واحنا يمكن تعودنا في الماركت الكويتي ان الترانزكشن تكون اقل بحكم انها لوكال ترانزكشن اتس نوت ان انترناشونال ترانزكشن. يعني سكوير معروفه الفيز مالته 2.75 فيري اكسبنسيف، الناس ما راح يدفعونها هنا. بس يمكن مشكله الترخيص هي اكثر مشكله، لان عشان تو كرييت ذس بزنس انت تبي الصغار هذول they can create لايسنس ويقدر يشتغل عشان تقدر تعطيهم سولوشن. الكبار ما يبون السولوشن، الصغار الريجوليشن توقفهم. سو هذه يمكن الديليما اللي موجوده، وان شاء الله يعني قاعد على الاقل تتحرك، قاعد تسمع عنها. قبل كم سنه ما تسمع الكلام عن الموضوع هذا السمول بزنس يعني. بس واحد من الايج مالي عطى هذا يعني الاخ ابو رامي يعني عزيز علي، يعني الاخوان كلهم عزيزين بس يعني يمكن
مشكور يا ابو خالد مشكور. سؤال يا ابو خالد، انتوا ما لاحظتوا بعد implementing the OTP ان the gross on the transaction has been decreased؟ انا كاي كوميرس عندي a lot of complaint of ladies وبعض الناس العاديين اللي not sophisticated customer، ليش هذا المسج وشو الارقام وين احصل هذا الرقم اللي جالي one time password؟
اوكي سوري I get you. طبعا يا الاخ محمد عميري يسال عن الون تايم باسورد، وكان عندنا تخوف انه راح ياثر على الخدمه لان يعني اس ام اس بيست. بس للامانه من اطلقناه تجريبي في شهر ديسمبر وبعدين في شهر واحد خدنا كم اسبوع على ما الناس دي ابديت ارقام تليفوناتهم اللي موجوده في البنوك. السيرفس في الكويت از اس ام اس جدا سريعه وعاليه، ما لاحظنا اي، بالعكس العمليات قاعد تزيد وصار في مور كونفيدنت وسكيور على العمليه، انه العمليه انا متاكد انه هو اللي سواها. وهذا يمكن اللي خلانا نحط حد انه اذا عمليات صغيره ما يكون عليها اس ام اس يعني.
طول الكاستمر عمره فاهم انه يحط سي سي في نمبر 3 ديجيتس في الفيزا او الماستر كارد ذاتس ات. في الكينت يو نيفر اسك فور ا باسورد.
والله شوف احنا
اونلي ذا اي تي ام باسورد.
وي بريبير صراحه الكاستمر. كان في كامبين كبيره احنا سويناها، وبعدين البنوك كان في مسجز كانوا تطلع على الشاشه نفسها. سو اي كاستمر قاعد يوصل كان حق البيمنت جيت واي اخذ له شهرين، واحنا وي كيب فيدينج هيم بالمسجز ان ذات يو ويل جيت ذس او تي بي، يو ويل جيت ذس او تي بي، وي جيف هيم ا مانث ذات I'll send you الاو تي بي بس تحتاجها ما تحتاجها. لما وصلنا مرحله اليوسجز عالي جدا عليها يعني. عفوا مشكورين، واحنا موجودين انا والفريق. اذا في احد عنده اسئله احنا موجودين بوث قريب هنا عندكم. عليكم مشكورين ثاني مره على الحضور. التوفيق ان شاء الله.